Change management. Today I want to look at fear of change. So let's take a scenario. You've just got your dream car. So you get inside, you're super excited, look around all the different buttons, features, maybe look at the manual, figure out how things work, and just imagine how that feels. And then a different scenario, imagine you're given a new, say, Vauxhall Corsa, and you get in the car and you're going, okay, right, how do I start this thing? Where does the key go? How do I turn the radio off? It's really annoying. And there's a big psychological difference. I don't know, you can kind of feel this. One is something that you've wanted, and the second one is something that's imposed upon you. And when things are imposed upon you and it's not your free will, it never feels as good, and it feels frustrating. Like your dream car, trying to start it, that's fine. That's part of the fun of having the dream. Your car that you've been given, you just want to use it and get on with your day. You're not really interested. And part of the first thing you need to do when it's managing change is to get people excited, get people interested in what's happening, because ultimately everyone fears change. They like the status quo. Look at my job. I suppose every 3 years I'm completely redesigning what I do. Now we've got ChatGPT, we've got AI coming on, and I can see this is massively going to change the way I work. So the first thing, yes, is to recognize that people are fearful of change, and the more you can do to get people excited and interested and involved in the change, the more easy it is to get people to accept it. Now, the second thing that's really, really important when it comes to overcoming the fear of change is education. So I did a project where I deployed print release. So if you've worked for a big company, you may have used this. You have a card, you take your card, you press print, you take your card, you touch it on any printer anywhere in the company, and your job comes out. This is quite good because it massively cuts the cost of printing, because people don't print stuff that they don't need. And also, more importantly, in terms of data security and GDPR, people can't print off confidential stuff, payroll information, just leave it on the printers, which does happen. In fact, in the past, I've printed stuff at the completely different companies because I've had access to their systems, and you press print and it just comes out, and you have to ring them and say, hey, could you just shred that information I just printed on your printer? So the card release thing's really cool. But obviously it's an extra layer, it's complexity, it's a change people don't really want, they don't really understand. So my role was really to go around and speak to everyone, explain what was happening, make sure all the technology worked properly, make sure their cards worked properly, and that they were happy and they knew what the benefits of the business were, and that they could use it. And explain what the risks were as well, because people are interested. If people do care about their jobs generally, and they just want to get on with what they're doing, and adding more complexity to their day does not help. But the fact that they could just go, as they're walking around, release the print job, when they're getting a coffee, when they're walking around doing their daily jobs for this particular company, that they did a lot of moving around. Anyway, the point is that education is really important. If you're not educating people about the benefits and the disbenefits, great project management. Yeah. Prince 2, does anyone actually use the word disbenefits? Anyway, another example, which is really important in terms of cybersecurity, is multi-factor authentication. A lot of IT leaders are really struggling to get it over the line. And that's because of another thing. When it comes to managing change, you really got to get your high-up managers to support and embrace the change. So the first thing I do when I'm trying to make a change is I go and speak to whoever's in charge and the techie people in charge. So we normally have a management contact and technical contact at most businesses I work with, and make sure that they're on board and they can explain the technology to other people in terms of the benefits and the disbenefits, the reasons not to use it. So for multi-factor authentication, often the barrier is people just say, oh, I don't want that. I'm not putting the thing on my own phone, it's my phone, whatever. So you've got to educate people and say, well, look, it's really important for the business that we don't get hacked, and I'm not able to access your phone. All this gives us an ability to just to verify who you are. And we could give you a key fob, but the thing is, you're going to have your phone with you. You're not going to leave it at home, almost certainly. So it's a really easy way of having something with you, so you haven't got something else to carry. See, I'm giving the benefits of having on their phone, rather than saying, oh yeah, I know, well, we're going to install this thing on your phone, and sorry about that. So you've got to explain what the risks are, what the benefits are for the person. And yes, it's an extra layer of complexity, but it does give you a great advantage in that you're less likely to be hacked. And people do, as I say, care about their jobs. So just to summarize, when it comes to managing people's fears, first of all, get them involved in the change process. Secondly, make sure you educate them on the benefits and the weaknesses of the change. And thirdly, make sure you've got your management team involved. One last quick story, if you've got time. I'm always deploying for people dual screens. So if you haven't got a dual screen set up, get it. And what's always funny about that is I always say to people the same thing. It's like, nobody wants dual screens at all. Once I've given them dual screens, oh my goodness, they will not let me take them away. We get support tickets like, urgent, urgent, my second screen's not working, panic, panic. But when I spoke to the same people and I said, we want to set you up with dual screens, they go, no, it's a waste of time. We don't need that. It's completely pointless. It's an utter waste of money. So I go, well, that's fine. Look, we'll set it up for you. And if you don't want it, I'll take them away and give you your money back. So it's always funny sometimes that people need to experience technology in order to actually see the benefits. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. And over the course of this week, we're going to be looking at more things around change management. And please let me know what you think. If you've got any feedback, comments, ideas, let me know. Thanks for watching.